return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. I'm from Jerusalem, hey, we'll return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. Sitting on that album that'll change my life. Should I?
Shalom, shalom, family. How is everyone doing?
Salama.
So we were in a meeting earlier, and I said something and I liked it because I know people are watching us from all over the place. So good morning to some, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some people.
Right.
So
from all over the world, right?
I know. Shalom, shalom. Let me give a couple shout outs real quick. General Warman, what's going on? Denise Clark, what's going on? Pamela Hood, what's going on? Marilyn Lamar, Van P, how are y'all doing? Shalom, family. I know the feast days have been going on. I hope everyone had a great Pesach. Look, it's been good. It's so good. It feels so good to be doing the Father's will again, man, family.
It feels so good to see so many of our people actually participating in the feast days.
Yes.
Yes. We've been seeing all the posts going up and everything. So it's exciting times that we're living in.
Yes. A couple more shout outs. Auntie Carol, how you doing? G-Man 7757. Our Gambia family, Denise Clark, what's going on? Tanya Rich, what's going on?
Yes.
Hallelujah. Patricia, hello. Welcome. Come on in, family. Come on in. Sister Charisma and Brother Gregory, shalom, family. Man, family. How's everybody doing? I know it's getting crazy over there in the U.S. I know it's getting crazy. Sister Sherry, Sister Ileana, hallelujah. Thank you guys for joining us. Family, we're praying for y'all. You know,
I'll be praying for us too, though. Don't forget about us. Even though we're not in the U.S., be praying for us too. Because yes, it's getting crazy. But guess what? You guys know that because of the dependency of the U.S. dollar, everybody gonna feel it when it hits the fan. So,
however, I just want to encourage those who hear my voice right now. The Most High, He's the one that has He allowed these people to be in position to do what they're doing. It's all for His glory. So for those that belong to Him, if He's telling you to stay put, He's going to take care of you right where you're at. If He's telling you to leave, He's going to provide for you where you go to live. So don't stress out about these things.
Yes. And remember, y'all take joy. It's something that, I have to remind myself of when I see all the craziness in the news. And even though sometimes we hear craziness over here as well, is all these things have to happen for our King to come back.
Yes.
And for His kingdom to be established here on this earth. So if a lot of times people are like, man, I don't want these things to happen. Why can't things I just want to live in peace? Well, ain't no peace, number one, on this earth. The peace is in the Most High.
Right.
And as long as we go on living the way that things are, the longer it takes for His rule to, be established here on the earth, the Most High. So I tell my husband all the time, I'm just ready for just do what you gonna do. So we can get this over with.
Right. It sucks. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, I'm saying it doesn't suck. But I just keep reminding myself that, like my wife said, these things have to happen in order for the Most High to come, to send His Son. He told the disciples when they asked Him, what are going to be the signs? This is one of the signs. This is one of the things that has to happen before He can come back. So I pick myself up and I say, hey, the dollar is dropping.
Babylon's falling. This is what we've been praying for, y'all.
And so
Babylon's fall.
I look at it this time. Every time I hear about another percentage of the dollar dropping, I feel like that's the Yahusha. He's doing this. He's slowly doing this. Slowly going up.
Coming.
I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. Hallelujah.
Yes. So yeah, tonight we have Salama sis, my big sis Ashonda. I miss y'all so much. Y'all been on my mind, my heart. We're gonna have to talk soon.
Yes.
Yes. Kiss our babies for us.
Yes.
Tell auntie and uncle say hi.
We love them.
We love them. We miss y'all.
Yes. So family, tonight, one of the things that a lot of people have been asking are, what are some business opportunities? So something the Most High put on our heart to bring to you guys tonight is we're going to be talking about the Trans-Africa Highway. That's just one of the highways that we're talking about. All right. So this highway runs from South Africa. Let me pull it up. Let me just pull this up. Y'all bear with me. I'm not that a real technical person. So y'all bear with me.
But you guys know we said we were going to be talking about more opportunities, like more in depth of things that you have the opportunity to get involved in here on the continent. So this is one of the biggest things. We've talked briefly about this, but we want to go in depth about the Trans-African Highway that is currently being built, and they're in the final phases of building this highway.
Right. So if you take a look here, I hope you guys can see my cursor going here. Down here at the bottom, this is Cape Town down in South Africa. So this corridor, so all these numbers here are the different corridors of this Trans-African Highway. Once this thing is completed, it is going to unite the continent. All right. So this right here, this goes from Cape Town, travels through all these countries here, all the way up through Tanzania, through Kenya to Egypt, through Ethiopia, all the way up to Egypt. And then you have these other highways that cross it, coming from the west coast,
east to west,
from east to west, north to south.
And so, yeah, it's connecting the entire continent. Now, if you look at the map here, the solid lines is what has been completed. The dotted areas are the areas that are still, they're still in the progress of completing that part. Now, being that we are in Tanzania, I know that they're a lot further along in Tanzania than this current picture right here. And while we're talking about Tanzania, for people that's going to Tanzania, we're going to get briefly on some major opportunities pertaining to the highway for Tanzania as well. Right. But as we said, you guys take a look at this. This is connecting the entire continent.
Right. So now you're probably saying, all right, brother Tor Isha G, what does this have to do with a big opportunity on the continent? The whole continent is about to be connected. So what does this mean? All of you have rode on a highway in the US. Every exit, you've got gas stations, hotels, restaurants, shopping malls. You've got all these different things. So these are opportunities of things that you can open. You can open a hotel. You can open a truck stop. Because if you are in agriculture or transportation, these roads are going to open up opportunities for you to do long hauls. Long hauls will bring in good money. All right. You'll be able to take stuff from Cape Town all the way up to Egypt, from Egypt to Tanzania. You can go from Tanzania to Kenya and then cross over to Burundi. All right. So you'll be able to do these things. You can go down on the corridor 4 and then down to Cape Town and go over to the West Coast and be able to go to Namibia and the Congo.
Right. So, and it's the same thing. As you can see, it's all east, west, north, south. So it's a lot of opportunities for you guys, because I know we had a lot of people that were asking about the transportation business. Okay, you guys remember the boom that happened in America. Yes. Okay, what they call that time? That was before my time. What was it called?
You calling me old?
No, I'm not saying.
The industrial period.
Yes, yes. You guys, we read about it in school. But
she calling me old, y'all. She calling me old.
This is I know that was before your time also, but this is what
she's trying to make me feel good.
This is what is happening right now on the continent. and the whole world sees. Okay.
Yes.
So right now, I know a lot of people are trying to make their exit out of the West, and they're trying to find out business opportunities. This corridor opens up a lot of opportunities. The other thing I want y'all to understand about this corridor is most of it runs next to land that's just empty. So what that means is when you come to the continent, right? Find out where that corridor is.
Malachi.
Tell Malachi we said hello. Leave that cheese alone. Oh man. But when you come, find out where this road is going. And you can start your business and purchase land that runs right next to the road, this highway. And in the future, the near future, because this continent is supposed to boom by 2030.
Right.
It's supposed to be a big old metropolis by 2060.
Also, let's talk a little bit about Tanzania. Tanzania has 3 ports, and they're about to be 3 major ports for the east coast of Africa. That means trade from China, India, and all those eastern nations will be able to be coming through Tanzania. Those 3 major ports that will be bringing items in. So that's just so much opportunity right there for my transportation and logistics people.
We love you, Malachi.
Yes.
We love you. Yes, everybody. So we're going to show you guys an area for Tanzania as well. But I just wanted to finish saying it's an opportunity if you want to get into tourism. You know, I was born and raised in South Florida, so it's a very touristy state, South Florida. And so one of the things when you're driving to down to like Orlando, or even when you're going down to Miami, you see all these tourist places that's coming up. So it opens up opportunities. If you want to be a person that does billboards for companies, is there because they're going to need the billboards for the highway. You know, if you want to be the company that makes signs, whatever signs that go on the highway, it opens up the opportunities for that as well. Like my husband said, if you want a hotel, you guys, it is a horrible feeling. And I spoke about this before. How far is the road and what is the completion date? How far? The road connects the whole Africa. So I can't tell you how far that is, but it connects South Africa all the way up to Egypt, West Africa all the way over to East Africa.
Yeah. So, Brother Jay, High Style, a lot of the places have go-arounds where you can go down a lot of the road already, and then where they haven't completed little parts of it, they have little ways you can go around. As far as the completion date,
they started it before 2018, and it was a 10-year plan.
Right.
So the first phase was completed in 2018. I'll say that, and the whole thing was supposed to take 10 years to complete the entire road network. So we're approaching the completion because 2028 would be 10 years from 2018. And we're in 2023 right now, just about halfway through it. So it's probably going to be another 3 years before it is completely completed. So it's not a long time before it's completed. But a lot of it has already been completed where you can already get from place to place, from country to country pretty easily.
Right. So, look, let's all say it together in honor of our brother Yakoba. There's no 400-year prophecy.
So hotels, if you want to open up a hotel, I was saying traveling on the road. When we were coming to visit Tonga and coming from Dar es Salaam to Tonga, it's 6 hours. and there are no rest stops, and there's nowhere for you to use the toilets, so it's an opportunity for people to build service stations on those roads. And I can tell you out here, the petrol stations, they look for people. They want people to open up gas stations. They actually help fund them to get up and running and build them, because they know that they're going to make their money back. These petrol stations out here.
I like this one. The I-95 of Africa. I like it.
Exactly. Exactly. So these are things that you guys think about. This road is key to so many business opportunities. Like I said, the gas stations, the truck stops, because we need truck stops for people that's transporting things. Right.
Repair shops. Cars break down on the road. And look, they don't. So for most of us who have lived in Florida and other states that have like the AAA patrol that rides up and down the highway, if you got access to tow trucks, you can bring those over here and you can start a business, because there's no tow trucks over here in Tanzania. So there's no tow trucks. So somebody's got to patrol these roads to help these cars that break down and tow them to the gas stations, tow them to the mechanics. So that's another opportunity.
Because y'all over here, when the car break down, we cutting seatbelts and everything out the car just to tow it. So we need companies like that, and this gives that opportunity to many people. I was talking about tourism. Tourism is big. So I was saying in South Florida, you see all the signs for all the tourist attractions that normally are near the big highways. They're not too far off of those major highways. Also, when people are driving through, a lot of times people want to stop. They want to do sightseeing in other areas. So they need tourist attractions that are built in those areas. And you have a lot of these countries that are huge tourist countries, but they lack a lot of tourism. And I don't mean they don't lack people visiting, but they lack a lot of attractions. So these are opportunities that you can get into with this road being built. There is the one I'm going to show you right now, the one for Tanzania.
Okay.
Tanzania, because we live in Tanzania, I just want to point this one out for anybody that's coming to Tanzania. So you have Bagamoyo down here.
And there's a major port there.
That's the biggest port is being built right now there in Bagamoyo. Down below Bagamoyo is Dar es Salaam. Okay, so this road right here has pretty much been completed. They're working on the last stretch of this road right now in Tanzania, and that's in the area where we are. There's a road, you can't see it on here, but there's a inlet, and they just built a bridge over it's called the Pangani River. They just built the bridge, but they have to finish the road that will lead to Mombasa Road into Kenya. And that's supposed to be completed by the end of this year. Now that road right there, if you guys know anything about Kenya, Kenya has a lot of goods, manufactured goods, okay? For people that are in Tanzania, if you need somewhere to get your goods, a lot of times Kenya is right there for you to get a lot of things. Kenya manufactures a lot of things. So this road is going to cut out, number one, from Dar es Salaam to where we are, it cuts out 3 hours. So you're going to be able to pretty much drive from Dar es Salaam to Kenya or Mombasa in about 6 hours.
Wait, what? Say that again?
When this road is completed, you're going to be able to drive from Dar es Salaam to Mombasa in about 6 hours. So when it comes down to transporting goods and getting goods shipped into Tanzania, for if you're starting companies, this road is key. And it's supposed to be finished, like I said, by the end of this year. So these roadways are something that y'all want to pay attention to in the countries. because that's prime real estate right there. Okay, prime real estate, and jump in on it now. You know, I want to talk about some reasons why it's so important for us to really start thinking about these things. Number one, like we keep saying, other nations, they way ahead of us. Okay, now this website is for Tanzania, but it's not just for Tanzania. This goes for the entire continent. Okay, why it's important to invest, why you should invest in Tanzania, go down, and why you should invest in Africa just as a whole.
I want y'all to see something. That's Tanzania. Y'all see this picture right here? That's Tanzania. So for anybody, any of your family members that's telling y'all there's over here in huts and run around with no clothes on, you can show them this. All right, this is what Tanzania look like.
So I just want y'all, I'm gonna talk about Tanzania right now. We're gonna get on the rest of Africa, but Tanzania, because a lot of this goes for the whole continent.
Right.
So it is so much wealth here in Tanzania, and it's so many reasons why you should invest. Number one is 6 landlocked countries that depend on Tanzania's ports. So when you start your businesses and everything like that, you have countries, 6 different countries around Tanzania that needs goods.
Right. And for our agricultural people?
And we have 3 ports in Tanzania. We have the biggest port that's being built right now in Bagamoyo. We have the Dar es Salaam port, and then we have the Tonga port. The Tonga port is being drenched right now so that they can allow for bigger cargo vessels to come in.
Not just cargo, though. The oil tankers that come in because Uganda and Tanzania, so they found oil in Uganda. Uganda and Tanzania have partnered. There's a pipeline that's almost completed that's going to bring oil from Uganda to the Tonga port. That's why they're dredging it to make it deeper. So oil freights can come in there and collect the oil and send the oil to other countries.
Right. And so that is key. So Tanzania is supposed to be a powerhouse in the East.
Yes.
Okay, because of all the countries that surround it, because it's going to have the most ports here in Africa. Also, it's supposed to basically rise above Kenya because of these things. And right now, I know Tanzania, sometimes they be looking a little iffy, you know, especially with recent stuff that we've seen in the news with the visit from the West. But the Most High is doing what he's going to do. It's going to be a powerhouse. And so you have a lot of tourist attractions, tourist areas here in Tanzania. Unfortunately, most of them are safaris, but it's a lot of people that come to Tanzania for that reason. So people don't want to just go on safaris all day.
But let me add this. With those safaris, the places that they're located are going to be in the highways that we showed you earlier will connect people to be able to get to those places faster. But as people travel to there, they're going to need somewhere to stop for lunch. Right. They're going to need somewhere to stop for gas. Some people might be driving in late and they need somewhere to sleep for the night before they get back on the road the next day. So these are just more things that you guys can do. And then I just want to touch on the arable land for my agriculture people. There's so much arable land here in Tanzania. And with that roadway, it's going to open up the ability for you not only sell your produce to Tanzanians, but the neighboring countries. Right. So that's food security.
Exactly, because now we have access to transport that food. Well, right now is limited because you don't have all the roads that lead to the different areas, but this road is going to allow for those who have to transport food, you can get it to the areas where they don't get a lot of crops, they don't get a lot of rain, you know?
Yeah, so we look here, major reasons why you should invest in Tanzania. The following are among the major reasons why you should invest in Tanzania. The country's geography is greatly beneficial. Tanzania is connected directly to the Indian Ocean, giving it trade links to Asia, and sits between the ocean and 6 landlocked countries. So let's see, who is Tanzania going to be providing services to? Uganda, the Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, Zambia, Malawi, and Asian nations that rely on Tanzania. That's why you have the what do they call it? The fight for Africa. That's why everybody wants to be a part of what's going on in Tanzania. Why China is trying to be a part of what's going on in Tanzania. Why Russia, why the US is trying to be a part of what's going on in Tanzania. They know their system is going down. They know that the African system is going up. So they're trying their best to be a part of it. So, but it just shows you here, like I said, 6 countries just alone right there. And it talks about the deep water ports right here. Dar es Salaam, Tonga, and Mtwara, which is right there by Bagamoyo. So it's all considered Bagamoyo, that are servicing the neighboring countries. Furthermore, the membership in the SADC free trade area in the East African common market with developed rail and road networks makes Tanzania a natural transportation gateway for East and Central Africa.
So this is just Tanzania. And I said I wanted to read this article because even though it says Tanzania, this is pretty much all throughout Africa. Okay, besides the ports, this is all throughout Africa where you have all of these resources for people that are in mining. Now they have opportunities to get their products to more places. For people, whatever it is that you're in, these roads are key to it. So, for all of my people that's in transportation, that's been asking us about, do they need transportation companies and everything? I hope this really answered y'all's question about, do they need transportation? Go ahead.
And our sister over at Journey with Us, she be on it also. In the East African community is coming out with their own currency soon. The Congo, Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda, and Sudan. This has been on the hush, but she already put it out there. So that's just something for y'all to know. This is happening.
Yes. So just like I know you guys have heard that West Africa, they're coming out with their own as well. So, it now is the time. It's not time to wait. And I believe, all this is the Most High's plan. But he's allowing for everybody in the West to get so uncomfortable because he wants people to not have an excuse to why you want to stay there, because there's nothing to stay for. So if you are looking for opportunities, the opportunities are here on the continent. There is no building, an empire in the West anymore. The opportunities are here. Yes, we need people to have the 18-wheelers to transport stuff. We need dry storage facilities, because we don't have enough of them here.
Yeah, I just want to put this out there. I love what Yaz Love is doing here. She's trying to get a few women together to start a business. That's what I'm talking about. That is the goal, to get like-minded people to come together and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. How can we do this together? Shout out to you, Yaz Love. Great job.
Yes. So, yes, with 18-wheelers, if you have, we need 18-wheelers, people to start those. We need, what do you call those people that do all the routing for them?
Dispatchers.
Dispatching companies.
Yes.
Here, like my husband said, we need tow truck companies for these people that's on the road. We need people that are going to be building the hotels and the rest stops. We need truck stops built. We need gas stations with toilets built. Even for areas when they're coming up to areas that are, it's a lot of tourist things there. Maybe just like how they have the restaurants inside the gas station and stuff. You want to have things like that there for people to have access to. It's so many opportunities with this roadway.
Yes, really quickly, M. Brown is saying if there's anybody in the chat that is in Zimbabwe or has information on Zimbabwe, please contact M. Brown.
And Brown, send us the email. We'll try and get you some information about a couple people we know that are in Zimbabwe.
Yes, and next week we're going to be going live with our brother and sister who are in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
They just opened up a school there, a free school for the village. So you'll want to watch that show, in Brown. They'll have some great information.
Yes. So American Embassy just purchased 100 hectares of land in Gambia. Wow.
Look, they trying to do anything they can. They know what's about to happen.
Right. Yes. So you guys, I am like, I cannot plead with y'all enough. You guys need to come and invest in the continent. It's a lot of people right now with everything that's going on in the US, in the dollar. A lot of people are ready to invest in businesses right now. So if you have a business that you have been wanting to come up with, if it's especially on the lines of what we're talking about tonight, but any business really, and you've been thinking about, well, I don't have the funds for the startup. Well, it's your opportunity right now, because there are a lot of people that's been reaching out to us about wanting to invest. They want to invest. They want to invest. So it's time for you guys to get your business plans together and y'all start, doing some networking so you can start getting investors for these things, because these things are gold mines. They are gold mines. I'm not saying that it won't be some trial and error. It won't be some attacks from the enemy. It comes. That's a part of life, but the Most High is with you.
Hallelujah. I'm posting these up there because I love to see the networking going on in the chat. That's exactly what we need to be doing, because look, those of you, the Most High has said to you, it's time to go. Network. Be our brother and our sister's keepers. Help each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what they taught us not to help each other in the U.S., but we're going to show them Yah's plan.
Okay. So yes, everybody, we wanted to show you guys those roadways, because I want you guys to understand really how many opportunities that you guys have if you take that step of faith and you come here to the continent. They cannot stop y'all from coming. Right. And then the people here, the countries, they want people to build these things. And so it's prime real estate right now for people who want to build homes and get into real estate. It's prime areas for that. Follow the road. Whatever country you're thinking about going to, look at the map of that road. Follow that road and see if that road goes through that country. See how close that road is to where you can be. When you get to that country, you have somebody direct me to the area where the road is going to be. So you can start looking for land in those areas. So I just, do you have something else? Because I want to get into some end questions of anybody. Is it easy to start in Tanzania? I'm not 100% sure the process of opening up a preschool here, but we do have a dear sister of ours here. She has a preschool and she has a private school. So if you want more information on it, I can reach out to her. Send us your email address. If we don't have if we don't have your email address, email us and we can get that information to you about starting a preschool here in Tanzania. So we don't have a long video. We just wanted to share this with you guys. Everything is falling in the West.
Right.
Everything is falling in the West, and it's time for you to start making your exit, and it's time for you to start figuring out what you're going to do. And these are opportunities. If there are people in the chat who want to start transportation companies, and somebody else in the chat who got, maybe some experience around the area, it's time to start making connections.
Right.
It's really time to start. This is such a big opportunity. Even my husband and I, we want to look into, this opportunity with this roadway, because we in Tanzania, we know what's coming to our area. In Tonga, we know what's coming up here. We know about the pipeline. We know about the port that they're building up here. We know that there's a lot that they're getting ready to do in Tonga. So we're trying to find out more information about that as well. Starting a trade school location. Okay, same thing. Send us an email, and I will reach out to our sister who actually is connecting us in a few days. She's supposed to be giving us information to a trade school, so I can give you the information once we find out as well.
Yes, and if you don't have our email down here at the bottom, you can see it. It'll be coming up here in a moment. Stepping Stones, the number 2 home @gmail.com.
Yes. So if y'all have any other questions, we're going to take a few minutes just to answer some questions from you all. Yeah, it's gold. The other nations are here, like we said. It's a gold mine here on the continent, and that's why all the nations want it. We know what the word says. They can try and take it, but it's ours. It's our inheritance.
Yes. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and I'm wondering what opportunities are there for me, and how would I go about getting licensed in countries on the continent? Well, I will tell you this first and foremost. In Africa, they do need you because mental health issues is frowned upon here. They don't really have, we've talked to a few doctors, they don't really have a plan for how to deal with people who have mental health issues. Now, how do you go about getting your license here? I will look into that for you. And so if you could email us as well.
And I would say, look into the country that you're planning on relocating to and find out if you can just Google like psychiatrists, different things like that. Just Google the businesses and see what's in those countries. Because once you Google that, you can probably reach out to some of those doctors and to get some information about where to go, who to talk to about licensing.
Right.
Yes. So, for whoever needs more information about, like I said, the schools here in Tanzania, we'll let you guys know because that is so needed. Before we get off here, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about for people who want to invest. Okay. You can get that in a minute. I'm going to answer your question in a minute, Miss S. Brown. So for those who want to invest, even if you cannot find a diaspora company that are looking for investors, and I say if you cannot find, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You still have the opportunity to invest here on the continent. You can reach out to the country's investment centers, and the country, when you talk to the people in the investment center, you can ask about investments for the country, for projects that the country has that they need investors for. So that is one way you can get into investing on the continent, even if you don't know directly a diaspora who has a project for you to invest in at this current moment. The other thing you can do, it is something that we do in the US, and it's the same thing here. Whatever country you're going to, you're going to Google financial advisors in that country. And you're going to start the conversation with that financial advisor and ask them to help guide you with investments in that country.
But I want to say this, with that, talk to at least 2 or 3 just to try to, because I'm going to be honest, in some of these countries, they will try to get over on you. So try to talk to 2 or 3 different ones and really allow the throught to lead you as which one to deal with.
Yeah.
But, you can do consultations with whoever. and just kind of pick their brain to get the information out of them, and then you decide from there. So let's go to this question here. How are the parks coming along? Your kids are ready to play. We're ready to have them play. Here's the situation with the park situation that we started down in Dar es Salaam. June 3rd, we will be here officially 2 years. We started that project in October of 2021. The last time we heard anything from the municipal's office in Dar es Salaam was around November of 2021. We were promised everything. We were told we could do this, we could do that. And we haven't heard anything from them. They won't return our phone calls. So we prayed about it, and the Most High said, dust your feet, and he'll show you where to go. So that goes into the next question here. What made us pick Tonga?
The Most High. The
Most High. And since we've been here, the water project was something we had wanted to do down in Dar es Salaam as well, but the Most High, that just wasn't where he wanted us to be. And so here, where we are in Tonga, doors have been open for us, and we've been able to complete our first project with the borehole. We are working in talks with putting a park here in Tonga.
Yes.
So we're in the process of that. And once we have more information, because like I said, we're still in talks, and I don't want to really put too much information out there until we actually have a green light. So
the parks are still in the works. We're in talks. But like we say, we're not even trying to do the green light until we know for sure that it can be done. But the people up here, they seem to be more willing in Tonga than Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam seems to be a little bit more like money hungry. I'm just being honest. However, the people up here, they seem more willing and ready for things like that to be built here for the children, for the neighborhoods here. So we're working on that for this area now in our very own community, since it did not work out in Tonga. We're working on that for the community we live in. I'm sorry, in Dar es Salaam.
Yes.
So getting back to why
I got to show you something. What Mark B Fitness said. Look where he was at.
Whew. Bless you, brother. Because I'm not going on that road.
I just got to know, were you in a private vehicle or were you on the bus going up that road to Lushoto? So for you guys who don't know, Lushoto is a beautiful area, beautiful. However, the road going there is doggone near one way. And so when cars are traveling, they have to pull over to the side. And sometimes, because it's right side drive, sometimes your car is kind of hanging off the edge a little bit. Look, what we said, he said it was scary.
And so I hear it's like what do they call it? I can't think of the name. It's a place like oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Brown.
You are our very first super chat. So I want to give you a big thank you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy some chapati. I ate chapatis like every day when I first got here. I'm like, this reminds me of my grandma's her cornbread that we used to eat with collard greens. So yes, thank you so much. But I hear Lushoto is very beautiful, but
I probably won't go back.
The road is not worth it for me. That's one of the other things for people that are in infrastructure. These roads going up these mountains, we need guardrails.
Yes.
Okay. Because we hear the stories. So we need the roads wide and going up these mountains, because it's a lot of people that live up in the mountains, but the roads are dangerous.
Yes.
And so even though I want to see Lushoto, I'm not going.
Yeah. So, how big is Tonga? So, I'll put it like this: Dar es Salaam. So, Dar es Salaam, Tonga, Mwanza, those are what we would know in the U.S. as states here. Okay. Uh, Dar es Salaam has about 9 million people in it. I see that. Has about 9 million people in it. Tonga has about 2 million, but Tonga is probably about 2 or 3 times bigger.
It's 3 or more times.
Yeah, 3 or more times
Dar
bigger
es Salaam,
than
right.
Dar es Salaam. There's less people here in Tonga, in the Tonga region.
Tonga's huge.
Yes, it is huge.
It's huge. So, yeah, it's a big area and it's a lot of land. It's a lot of mountains. We're still trying to get to this area called Karagwe because we hear they have a lot of beautiful waterfalls and you don't have to go up a dangerous mountain to see them. So we still plan on going there. Tonga is very laid back.
Yes.
It's very quiet. It's more quiet, more chill. You know, the people are very helpful. They're helpful in Dar, but like the vibe is just completely different out here.
Yes.
It's completely different. And so it's like for me, it's more, if it were more things to do, it would be more family oriented than Dar es Salaam.
But that's another opportunity that you can bring here. Now, some people might be like, well, if it's not a lot of people there, why would I bring these tourist things there? Guess what? When Disney was first built, there wasn't a lot of people around, so there wasn't a lot of people going there. Look at Disney today. If you build it, they will come.
Not to mention, we know about marketing. It's about how you market. You don't have to just market to the people here in Tanzania.
You're not the only one, y'all's love. But look, it's something in you that will make you fight them. So don't worry. I know from experience being here.
So because Tonga itself, we are about 3 hours from Mombasa, Kenya.
Right.
So if people start building attractions in this area, because Tonga is already one of the oldest towns in Tanzania. It's like the 3rd town that was built in Tanzania. And it has the oldest port in Africa.
Yeah, it's called the Forgotten City.
Right. So the Tonga port is the oldest port here in Africa, you know, so.
And Tanzania, when it was originally called Tanganyika, got its name from Tonga.
But I was saying, if you start building attractions and things like that, you are not just catering to Tanzania. You're catering to the travelers from Kenya. You're catering to the travelers that's coming from Malawi. You're catering to people that's coming down from Burundi, Rwanda. It's all of those things there because honestly, it's not that. It's a long drive, but you can drive.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Y'all bringing back some hard memories for me, man. That was a very rough day. But you can travel easily from Tonga to many other areas. Arusha is about 8 hours away. Nairobi is 10 hours away. Mombasa, 3 hours away. Dar es Salaam, 6 hours away right now, getting ready to be 3 hours away. And then it's lots of other places in between. So if people start building those touristy attractions and everything in this region, you can market to more than just Tanzania. You can market to all the people in Tanzania. You can market to Kenya as well, because you have lots of people that travel back and forth between Kenya and Tanzania.
Right.
How's the housing market?
So
sad. We need houses. Dar es Salaam has a lot of houses. Don't get me wrong, but when you leave Dar es Salaam and Arusha, there are not enough houses here for the people, let alone us. So when you, especially in regions like where we are right now, it's definitely more rural. So the houses sometimes are not up to par. So you're going to have to work things in your contract between you and your landlord to have certain things added to the contract for them to repair. in the houses. And that's just, kind of like something that it happens unless you're in Dar es Salaam or Arusha, like I said. Now, prayerfully, if you pray, the Most High could bless you with something that's good, because that's what he did with us. He blessed us with the new build here. But we need a lot of houses built. There is such a big opportunity for real estate here and throughout all of Africa. And a lot of people, when it comes down to real estate, we want to be close to highways where we can travel. So that's back to the highways. I love, somebody brought up I-95. I love that I-95 was just like 10 to 15 minutes away for me to get to. And then I know I'm gone down, connecting, going down to Miami, going up to Orlando, Jacksonville, whatever. So it's the opportunity here for real estate as well. And like I said, these highways are key. There is a connecting point where people can easily maneuver, because our people, this is our land. And especially the more of our people come, we're going to be traveling. We're not just trying to stay in one place. We're trying to see other countries as well, So that's with the real estate. If you know real estate, you've dealt in real estate, it's definitely different here, but it's not hard to learn here. I would say that, especially when you're dealing with people that's coming from Western nations, it's easier. But when you're dealing with the locals, it's going to be a little bit different, because they don't do business the way that we do business. When it comes down to contracts and different things like that, it's a little bit different here. So you'll have to learn how to adjust your approach for the locals here if you're going to start doing real estate and renting out properties or even selling properties to the locals, because it's not the same. We don't deal with chiefs in the US, but you have chiefs and everything in it's not just Tanzania, but in Africa, you have chiefs over certain areas.
Someone asked, how far is Tonga from Rwanda? It's about 23 hours. Can you only lease or outright buy real estate there? So here, the way it works is you lease so you can lease the land for 99 years. Okay. And your children, after that 99 years, if you, of course, most of us probably won't be here after 99 years unless the Most High prolongs our living. Excuse me. Your children can go and apply to now lease that land for another 99 years.
Hallelujah. So somebody say they have a friend.
We have best friend Clive coming from Tobago, interested in real estate. So we will let him know coming to Kenya soon to meet us there. It's all lining up the Most High. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes. So that's awesome. Recently we've gotten, I think that's like, you guys are like the third or fourth person that we're hearing about going to Kenya. So Kenya is now obviously on the radar for a lot of people, because it's kind of an easier transition for some people. A lot of people like it better because Nairobi is pretty much what you're accustomed to. So they have a lot of things you're accustomed to. So hallelujah. I'm glad that you guys are either going to visit or getting out of the West. Yes, you do have to, somebody speak to elders about the land.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story about when we first moved into this home that we're currently in. So the owner of this home, it was the Most High. For some odd reason, she would not put the house on the market to be rented. She kept saying, it's not ready, it's not ready. We came to Tonga and we prayed. We're like, you know what? We don't have a house, but we can't keep procrastinating. We know that the Most High is telling us to go to Tonga, so we're just going to go. We didn't have a plan. We just went. We stayed with some friends for a week. I think the first or second day we got to their house, my husband said, babe, we're going to get a house the end of this week. And so I'm like, okay, if you say so, you know, I'm trusting right with you. We're gonna get a house at the end of this week. So he went on a fast, and there was a Lolly, which is a real estate agent that we had been conversing with, and what I had been conversing with on Instagram. And so I was like, you know, why don't we just reach out to this guy? And so we reached out to the one Delali, and he was like, I have this house, this lady, she hasn't been ready to show it, but let me reach out to her and see if she's ready to show it. So lo and behold, we go to him. He's like, yes. She said, you can see the house. We come to see the house. The very first house we saw once we got here officially. And that day we went and signed our lease. So she did not go to the elder to let them know that there was somebody living in the house. So the people who live in the area, they called the head government here in our area and said, there's some people living in this house and we have never seen them before. And so the chief actually came knocking at our gate and was like, I need you to come outside and bring me your passports and everything like that. Come to my office, matter of fact. So we had to go to his office and show him that we were residents and that we could stay in the house. We had to put him in touch with the owner of the house, and she had to verify, yes, I leased this house. So yes, the chief has to know that you are renting that house. You cannot just rent a house without the chief knowing that you're there. It's a part of the process here in Tanzania. I don't know how it works in other countries, but the chief of the area, they have to know everybody that lives in that area because they are responsible for everybody that lives in that community. If something goes down in that community, police go to talk to the chief before he would even come to your house. So that's how it works.
Yeah. So our sister Denise Clark, she is in the Gambia, family. She just put on here, you can get visa upon arrival there in the Gambia, and it's good for 5 years. It's the equivalent of about $65 US. So for anybody looking at the Gambia, that's great news right there.
Or looking for a cheaper option because you may say, well, I don't have the finances, but I want to leave right now. You know, there are other options. You don't have to come to Tanzania. There are other options here on the continent that are more feasible for people.
Right.
But the thing is, a lot of people, the drawback is the way that it looks here on the continent and also the amenities that they're lacking here on the continent. The opportunities are here, like we've been talking about. You have the opportunity to start businesses and everything. I think in Senegal, you can start a business for $500. And in Rwanda, you can start a business for about $200. So there are other places that are cheap where you can start businesses. These highways are there. You can start capitalizing on those things. You don't have to come to a country where it's $3,000, $5,000 or whatever. You know, so I'm glad that the sister put that in the chat. So for people who feel like they don't have the funds to do it, you can go to one of these other countries where it's cheaper.
So the equivalent of the chief would be kind of like a mayor, you think? Either I would say actually maybe like the head of neighborhood watch.
Right, because the areas that they're over normally are not huge.
Right.
So like the neighborhood we live in is big. Don't get me wrong. This is a big behind neighborhood.
But we know four different chiefs. And then there's one chief over them.
Right. So it's over a smaller sector of a big neighborhood. They have different chiefs. And then you have the head chief that's over that whole quote unquote city.
All right. So in the Gambia, it's $500 to start a business, no red tape. And our sister here asked, is there a ferry from Tonga to Zanzibar? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, there is.
And you're actually much closer to Zanzibar and Tonga than you are in Dar es Salaam.
And you can also from Tonga take a flight, short flight over to Zanzibar as well.
Yes. So, and if you guys are thinking about going to any of these places, Look at the roads. I'm telling you guys, look at the roads. Get into those businesses now, because in 5 years,
agency, yes.
you're going to kick yourself if you don't.
Right. Put it like this. This is one of those opportunities, like what happened with Bitcoin all those years ago when Bitcoin first came out, and everybody was kind of like, man, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. The dollar ain't never going to go where. What am I going to do with this digital currency? And, people were giving Bitcoin away in some places as consolation prizes. Mm-hmm. And then it shot up. Now, I know Bitcoin went down a little bit, but still, it's worth so much money still today compared to when it first came out. So just think about it that way.
Right. And we were some of those people. We were introduced to Bitcoin and offered it when it was pennies.
And we said no.
We were like, what is this? No, we don't want to get into this. It's probably some other type of scheme, just like other ones. And hey, could have been millionaires, but that wasn't the Most High's plan. Sis, somebody said she would come right now, but it's because of child support orders. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Go in prayer and fast about that, because it don't matter what those people set up. If the Most High wants you to go, He going to open up the door for you to be able to go somehow, some way. And if not, the Most High,
He going to take care of you right where you at. He
going to take care of you, and you still going to get here eventually.
Right. So just, for those of you who you got issues that are keeping you where you're at, if the Most High has told you to leave, He knows the circumstances that you have. So he's going to open up a door for you to leave. If He has not told you to leave, then that just means He wants you to stay where you're at right now. But don't worry, like my wife said, we all coming out.
Right. So
this is our sister in the Gambia again. She said she has a sweets cafe and her rent is 100,000. Now that's Dalasi, y'all. That's not USD. It's Dalasi, which is the currency there in the Gambia, for a year, which is 2,000 US. Some places let you pay the rent every 6 months. Some places are cheaper. Right. Come on, y'all. Look at the opportunities. And guess what? As Africa grows, the prices are going to go up, but that's because the money's going to go up.
Yes. So these are things, whatever the Most High has placed in you, He placed those gifts and talents in us for a reason. And it is going to provide for you back on the continent. But we wanted to show this because we get a lot of questions about what opportunities are there? What can I do? And these companies are not things that are super hard for you to set up here on the continent. And so, if you don't have a company to invest in, start a business here on the continent, because the door is wide open. We need them here. We need everything here. And so we wanted to show the transportation side and the opportunities for transportation and businesses alongside transportation. How is the healthcare? The healthcare here is decent. I'll say that. You're definitely going to find in the bigger cities, the international hospitals that are going to be more what we're accustomed to in the West. But it's definitely decent. If you're talking about Tanzania specifically, it's decent. We do have one of the top hospitals here in Tanzania, based out of Kenya. What's that hospital called?
Aga Khan.
Aga Khan Hospital. So that's the big international hospital that everybody knows about, but they have other international hospitals here. The hospital here where we are in Tonga is decent. They're going to take care of the things that you need. I know a young lady who just had a cesarean there, and I was asking her about her experience, and she told me, she was like, I loved it more than Kenya. And so she was like, the people there were so nice. They really took care of me and everything. This is one of the hospitals, you go in the hospital and turn up your nose, most of y'all. But the people they're very friendly. I've been there and they're very friendly. when you go there and they're smiling, and it was a pleasant surprise, honestly, when I went to this hospital here in Tonga. But there are international hospitals here.
And I just want to add to that really quickly before we answer Mark B's fitness question with the healthcare. All my mothers who have had a C-section, you know how it was after that, the soreness. The young lady we're talking about, an hour later, she was sitting Indian style on the bed, breastfeeding her newborn.
I don't know how she did it,
But to me, that just means that she had a good surgeon.
Yeah.
So with our residency, once we completed our other paperwork, it was about a month?
No, like maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks.
For the residency. So the whole process for us to do from start to end for work permits and residency took us about a month to get it done. And then we had to go file for our NITA. NITA is equivalent to your Social Security card. And if you want to have, like when you come here to Tanzania and a lot of the countries, you can get a phone, but that number is only for a certain amount of time. And if you want your phone to stay on, you have to register it under your NITA number.
Right.
And so that way they know that you're a resident of the country and they won't turn your phone service off, because a lot of times they will just turn your phone off because they know you're only supposed to be here for a certain amount of time.
And I just want to put this out there real quick. Those of you who are being called by the Most High to go to the Gambia, to register a business there, 500 DMG, which is $10 US.
Mercy. Yeah.
Come on now. Look, y'all need to hit up our sister Denise. And if that's where the Most High is leading you, look, hit her up.
This is for somebody who's been talking about, I don't have the money. This is for you. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to keep searching and wondering, how am I going to get there? Maybe Tanzania is not for you. Maybe Kenya, wherever is not for you. But this is an opportunity for you that you can afford. So is no excuse, is nothing that can hold you back.
I will answer this one. So you see how big my eyes got, right, Sharon? You just need to know, is there a good burger joint? Now, in all fairness, I must say that I'm no longer eating meat, but when I was, no longer eating red meat. When I was in Dar es Salaam, if you come to Dar es Salaam, there's 2 places I'm going to tell you to go. Mangoes at the mall and Burger 23.
Yes.
They got some good burgers.
Yes.
Like the old show, showing my age. Good burger.
He likes Burger 23 better. I like Mangoes better.
Yes.
So, and they have Mangoes got really good drinks also, not non-alcoholic drinks for people who, feel some type of way about alcohol. I mean, wine is in the Bible. But they have really good drinks there as well.
Yeah. If not mentioned already.
What are 5 good businesses to start?
So, if you're just coming in, we mentioned earlier, we talked about the big opportunity here is there is a huge highway that's connecting all of Africa. So businesses that are good to get into, tourist businesses, hotels, restaurants, gas stations, transportation.
Also, was that?
And agriculture.
But I'm gonna throw another one in. IT is another thing that is blowing up big out here, and they need a lot of people to do training though on how it needs to be done in the right way. Now, I always say this, give this disclaimer: I am not pro technology, okay? And I say all technology, because I do enjoy some technology, just like every other person here. But IT is blowing up. IT is needed because it's like I was talking to who was I talking to? A friend of ours. I was like, listen, the world, even though the dollar is crashing, the world is not going away. Life is not going to stop. And this person told me that in the Bible, it talks about how many of these other places, when Babylon fell, they're going to be looking and crying that they can't eat of her delicacies anymore. Those nations were still living. They were still going on about their life. Okay, so life is not getting ready to stop. So IT is something that's probably going to be around for a little bit still.
Right. Even during the first Exodus, when our people came out of Mitzrayim, you have to think about it. Egypt was the powerhouse at that time. Now, they were the powerhouse because our people were there. But when our people left, Egypt was still there. It didn't go away. It was still there. So,
and the countries surrounding
we're
Egypt,
still there.
we're still there living, even though that superpower fell. So life is not about to stop. And I think that's what people think, that things are just going to come to a halt and we all about to go dig a hole and hide in it somewhere and wait for the Most High. Life ain't stopping. Remember, he's blessing us with he's now turning over the captivities and he's getting ready to release the blessings that he promised us, our inheritance, the blessings of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob onto their children.
Right. How much money do you think it would take to start those businesses along the highways? So I would say it depends on the country. That would depend, that would justify the payment because each country is different. Now, Tanzania, it depends on what type of business you're starting.
And what you're starting and to build. I can tell you right now, the going rate for building in Tanzania, if you're going to build residential homes, is
they mean like I think we're talking about the hotel or gas station.
Yeah. Residential homes. Now, this is if you're going to one of these big companies. It's about 850,000 T shillings per square meter. If you're building a commercial building, it's 900,000 T shillings per square meter. Now, if you're going to build a commercial building, I would suggest you go with a company, yes, that has the experience. You can see their portfolios, that they know what they're doing. I would say go and pay the price to have them do it for you the right way. If you are building a home, on the other hand, a lot of people use fundies. Okay, so you could get a house built for less than 850,000 T shillings per square meter.
Now, let me put this into perspective for you. 1.2 million T shillings is a little over $450 USD.
Right.
So that's just letting you know what you can get a house built for.
Right.
If you're using a fundi, which a fundi is just kind of like a backyard mechanic, but they know how to do what they do. They just don't have what we're used to in the U.S., a certification, a degree, because the U.S. says, you got to have a degree for this and a degree for that.
But they build houses all day out here.
Yes.
And the thing is, especially if you can maybe have a brother that knows construction or something else that can kind of guide them along the way, you can get things built for a lot cheaper than that out here. And nobody is stopping people from having a fundi build because most of the locals have fundis build their houses, not these big companies. It's people more so that's starting to transition now, especially as people are flocking into the country, that they're looking for more modern houses, things that they feel is going to be secure and everything like that. So, but I just want to say, so it depends on what you're going to build. And like my husband said, it depends on the country because those prices are for Tanzania.
Right.
It could be cheaper in other countries to have things built.
Or more expensive.
Right.
So how is care for disabled children and adults, and would that be a good business opportunity to start? That would be an amazing business opportunity to start. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you heard it, but mental health, disabilities is something that is kind of frowned upon over here. one of the things on the continent that we've seen is they deal with a lot of superstitions. So they don't understand that things happen, and a lot of times you'll have some children that can get a deformity because they can break a leg as a young child and they don't have the money to go to the hospital. So they just kind of wrap it up themselves at the house, and the parents kind of just, keep their leg in a certain position, but then the bones stay like that. And so you have adults and children with disabilities, and the people don't know how to take care of them. So one of the things we know, we don't see people in wheelchairs a lot here because they don't know what to do.
Not to mention they don't have ADA requirements here.
Right.
So a lot of the buildings, they're not built to facilitate people that are in wheelchairs and things like that here in Tanzania, and a lot of times throughout the continent right now. And that's where certain people who have understanding and knowledge of ADA design is important for them to come and start building here as well, because you have a lot of elderly that are coming to the continent as well. You have a lot of older people that live on their own here, and just the way that certain things are built, they like to build with a lot of steps out here.
Right.
It's not a very logical design for people that are older. So, I remember in the States hearing about aging in place, homes that allow you to age in place. Those are good things to start implementing out on the continent. But yeah, it's not something that they have, but they do need things that is going to cater more to people with disabilities here on the continent.
Yeah. Mark, if you email me at steppingstones2home@gmail.com, I will put you in touch with our lawyer. I'll give you his WhatsApp number. What they say? My daughter has her PhD, wants to start a school and give other jobs in the community. What steps are needed? Brew Queen, first of all, shalom, sis. Email us, is then because some other people have asked the same question, and we have a friend here who is a local who has her own school, so we can get that information and share it with you as well.
And Brew Queen, I don't know if you saw this right here, but connect. And maybe you guys can open a school on the continent somewhere, because we definitely need more schools with good education for the children here on the continent, as well as our children that are coming over. And the benefit of opening up schools, if you open up a private school, then you're going to have both the diaspora and a lot of the locals that are going to send their children to the schools. Because it's a private school, you have the opportunity to start teaching about who we really are. And so it's an opportunity for that aspect of education as well here that is needed on the continent.
All right, y'all. This is our mama. She adopted me and Isha G. And she told us when she comes over here to the continent that she's taking us to dinner. So there's over 90 people watching, y'all's love. So if you don't do it, they go, look, everybody sees that you put it on there. They're going to get you.
Let's see.
Yes, cashew farming. Now, here in Tanzania, the only thing with the cashew farming in Tanzania, the government here owns all the cashews. They own all the cashew farms. So here that would not work. But you can get a contract with them to help them to farm and process them. Waste management, yes, is very much needed. And like you did say, the IT, that's great information, Felix.
Yes, I mean, on some of our earlier videos, we talked about waste management because that was something we wanted to get into, but we did find out that the government was trying to figure out ways to facilitate their own. It hasn't started yet, and that was for Dar es Salaam. But in areas like where we are now is opportunities for waste management throughout the continent, and we need places. I don't want to necessarily say landfills, but we need more logical ways to get rid of the waste, to manage the waste. And I know they have these incinerators that can burn plastic now without all the toxic gases coming out. So we need facilities where we can take the trash too. They need waste management desperately. They desperately throughout the continent.
Yes.
Do they have any manufacturing companies? Tanzania has a few, but they don't have a lot of manufacturing companies. Throughout Africa as a whole, they don't have a lot of manufacturing companies. Most of the manufacturing companies are in South Africa, Kenya, and I'm not sure about the West Coast, but I know definitely South Africa has the majority of the manufacturing companies, and you guys know why.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it, because the European Union and Western countries have tried to tell the Africans that they should not build manufacturing plants because it hurts the green, their green plan. And so they say they shouldn't build anything, that they should just give their resources to those countries to build, to do the manufacturing. But that's just a way to keep Africa in a situation.
Any international banks in Tonga?
Yes, there are. Hold on, let me look.
International?
Yeah, that are from other countries. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, from other countries I've heard about throughout Africa. If you mean international bank where they have a branch in Tonga and the U.S., no, or not that I know of. Not just Tonga, throughout Tanzania. However, you still have access to using the banks here. We are with what's that bank called? A credit union, and so we're able to get money out and everything through the bank.
So in Tanzania, there is a bank called Standard Chartered. They are an international bank. And there are some foreign banks here. There Citibank, Citigroup is in Tanzania. Standard Chartered, like we said, Barclays Bank, and Stanbic Bank. Those are all international banks that are here in Tanzania.
I didn't even know Citibank was here, but there you go, because that's the name that I recognize. Chief Neighborhood.
Yeah. Yes.
Neighborhood Elder.
Yes.
Is it easy to register? If you have a lawyer, it's easy to register a business in Tanzania. If you have a lawyer that knows what they're doing, and if you're planning on coming, we put people in touch with 2 lawyers that we have used. One of them, we use him a lot because he's been very good to us, and I like the fact that he's a criminal lawyer as well. So, if anything pop off, I know that he's used to going to court for people.
So, and then now I have not seen shipping container homes, but I've seen shipping container businesses. There is down in Dar es Salaam, we saw there is a company that outfits shipping containers.
Yes, and they can do them for homes or businesses.
Right. But we personally have not seen any shipping container homes, but they do outfit them here.
Yes. Now, if you'd like to start a business with shipping container homes, that would be great because they have a lot of them available here. Yes. So we're going to get ready to wrap this up. But we wanted you guys to really understand the time, I know you know the time that we're living in, but do you know the severity of needing to lead? We always say if the Most High hasn't told you to stay, then why not leave? Before the 400 years or before all this stuff popped off with the Exodus and everything, if somebody was like, oh, I'm going to move to Europe, or I'm going to move to Mexico, I'm going to move to Paris, whatever, people would be like, oh, okay, well, enjoy your time. We're going to miss you so much. But it seems like when you put Exodus there, it seems to be an issue now that people want to go move somewhere else. Or maybe the issue is because they want to come to Africa. I'm not understanding what the problem is. But if you want to leave and the Most High has not told you to stay put, just like in a scenario like that, before people started saying Exodus, you would still have to find out from the Most High if it was for you to leave or to stay. So it's the same thing. If you feel like, man, I really don't want to stay here, well, what's stopping you? Because before you could have moved wherever you wanted to move, but it seems like now, because people have the word Exodus in the back of their head, they don't want to leave. To me, I personally don't understand it. It could be something that I'm missing. I just don't see it. And like I say, I understand there are some people who don't have the ability to leave. You know, I have family members that want to leave, but they can't leave. So, you know, for people like that, like we always say, hunker down, the Most High got you. And guess what? Regardless, you're going to still end up here, even if you have to wait a little longer. Just make sure you're being obedient and you're living in righteousness so that his protection is always there. His angels are always there, you know, to protect you and to fight for you.
Right.
So, you know, you make sure you're doing that and you're good to go. He's going to make sure that somehow you get out of that place.
Right. And Hot Sauce, you can email us and we can get you the lawyer's contact. And what's the price per acre for farmland? It depends on where you're looking for the farmland. But here in Tanzania, it can run on the low end, $150.
Yeah, we just looked at some land. It was 500,000 per acre.
Yeah.
It was like maybe equivalent to about 250 USD per acre.
Right.
So that's per acre, not you know, a plot or
right.
a quarter of an acre or anything like that. It's a whole acre.
Right. And we've seen 20 acres for about the equivalent of about $5 or $6 grand USD.
Right. So I pray that y'all will continue to connect with one another. We've been seeing people linking up lately and trying to come up with a strategy, an exit plan, and trying to also come up with business plans to start working together. So I really pray that y'all continue to network with each other and y'all come on out, because it's gold over here. Physically, you know, what's the word I'm trying to say?
I don't know.
Literally. What's the opposite of literal? Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Look, it's almost 1 a.m. in the morning here.
Right.
She's asking me questions.
Figuratively.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that.
Literally.
Babe, figuratively, that's what you're thinking about.
There is gold here. So come and get your gold.
Yes. Bat Yasra, I don't know the name of that company. I do know that I'm going to be going down to Dar in a few weeks. Look, I don't want to lie to you. I'm going to do my best to remember to catch the name, because I got to pass it going into Dar. I'm going to do my best to remember to get the name, and I will next time once I go down there, just kind of remind me. In May is when I'm going. So in one of our lives that we do in May, just kind of say, hey, did you find out the name of that the company, the shipping container company?
Yes.
If I don't remember, please don't hate me. I love you.
But if you are coming to Tanzania, I would say it is on Bagamoyo Road in the
That's close to Tegeta area. It's right there across. It's by Kibo.
It's down from Kibo Plaza on Bagamoyo Road. If you're going the direction of exiting Dar es Salaam. So if you're coming to Dar es Salaam, if we don't remember, hit us up and we can direct you to where it is, because we used to live probably about 5 minutes away from it, maybe 10.
Right. Let's see. The Zanzibar from the large port, I think it's like an hour and 30-minute ride on the ferry. And thank you, family. We appreciate that.
Yes, hallelujah. Somebody said a great business idea for our people is selling burgers and fries, because it's been a difficult time finding good burgers and fries since we left the U.S. You know why it's difficult? The meat is different. The taste is different. We're accustomed to that taste over there.
We're accustomed to them fake McDonald's burgers.
And it's not the same over here, so that's one of the reasons. But yes, especially when it's a diaspora area, you're gonna get a lot of traffic. Dar es Salaam, don't get me wrong, Dar es Salaam was not for me, okay? But Dar es Salaam is a metropolis for businesses. Even the locals like trying new things.
Thank you, family.
Yes, thank you. So even the locals like trying new things in Dar es Salaam. So you have a lot of modern restaurants that are popping up in Dar es Salaam right now. And so it is the opportunity, if somebody wants a nice restaurant or a burger joint or something like that, you can definitely do it. And places like Tonga right now, we do need more restaurants. I'm not going to lie. But I cannot tell you that you're going to get a flood of people, because it's about 10 diaspora up here. Okay?
Right now.
Well, I would say that know who we are. It's about 10 of us here.
Now, there are some very well-traveled Tanzanians, like the mother we rented the house we're in from. Yes. So I was going to tell you this quick little story. She was finishing up the house when we moved in, and she was here making sure that the guys that she had hired to finish up were doing everything. And so Isha G and I bought food for everybody to eat, and she was like, no, can I have a burger? She's like, I don't want the Tanzanian food, I want a burger.
Right. We were like, what? We were trying to give her some Tanzanian food, but she ain't want it. She wanted that your Western food. Right. Can I get mac and cheese and some peach cobbler there?
I wish.
So
listen, if I want some mac and cheese, I gotta hit up my sister over at Journey with Us to get some good mac and cheese.
You're gonna have to make it yourself out here, because I have not had any good mac and cheese out here from a restaurant. There have been some diaspora who have made mac and cheese, and it's been good.
Yes.
But
shout out to Sister Ileana from Journey with Us. She makes some really good mac and cheese.
Thank you so much. And as far as peach cobbler, that would be a dream come true.
So for all my pie eaters in Tanzania, they do not know what pie is. Apple pie, peach pie, none of that. Key lime pie. They don't even have pie pans out here.
So,
Sister Denise, you can't be telling them that now. Look, yes, bring your Lowry seasoning, bring your lemon pepper seasoning. You're not going to have the same seasonings out here.
You're going to have to learn to make it. We had to learn how to make lemon pepper seasoning because we wanted lemon pepper seasoning. So, they don't know. They will ask you, what is pie? I've had several Tanzanians ask me, what is pie? We keep hearing about this pie.
Right.
But somebody said grits. My husband, listen, I got a brother and sister bringing me over some grits.
Yes.
Because I love grits. I love grits.
Now you can
fishing
make grits. You can make grits over here.
Yeah.
But it's a process.
I've had to make my own grits. I was craving them so bad. I just made my own grits one day.
She grinded up some corn and made some grits.
I grind that old-fashioned yellow corn. I just went and bought some and grinded it up. And it was good, but it's a process. I don't have a good grinder, so, I did not continue. But grits are...
Thank you, family.
Thank you. We miss grits. I love me some fish and grits for breakfast in the mornings. So, yes. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap it up with these questions. This is a question.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We're going to wrap it up. We love y'all. We're going to keep coming out with videos of opportunities here. We got on the transportation this time in the roads. But one thing that I have not hit on, but it is something very near and dear to my heart, tourism.
Yes.
Okay. So
y'all be on the lookout for that live.
So because a lot of people are getting into things with infrastructure and different things like that. But I don't hear a lot of people talking about getting into the tourism industry. And so we're going to go into some things that people we have talked about that they want to see out here as far as tourism goes, and things that you can get into when you come. Please do.
I will be there.
Yes. Bring your pop hands. Ain't none out here. So tourism. We're going to talk about some tourism opportunities that you can get into out here. We have talked to several Tanzanians about different things that they would like to see here. We've shown them videos, shown them pictures, and so we're going to give you guys their thoughts on activities and even the diaspora and things that we desire to see out here. Now, I want to tell y'all this. We're not trying to make this no America. So keep in mind the beauty that the Most High has created when it comes down to tourism. We don't want to make concrete jungles out here. We don't want that. We don't want cities everywhere. Okay. So, they already have cities. If you want to contribute to building those big old cities, then, where they're getting ready to build the big cities, you can. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But, you can go to the areas where they want to build those big cities, but this is Abba's land, and he created so much beauty in this land. We don't want to start cutting everything down and building these big old high rises everywhere and these big old cities and stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with having entertainment facilities and different things like that. But I want us to keep in mind that we want to make things that are different. We want Abba to inspire us with new,
still modern,
modern but new things, right? New designs for things, a way where our people can be engulfed by still the beauty of his creation.
Right. And when you come here, you see things from colonizers. You see German buildings, you see British buildings, other countries, you see French, you see European. This is Africa. Africa has its own culture. So, we want these things to still say Africa. But they can still be modern, but, it's still Africa.
Right. Somebody said, I want to live in the mountains in Tanzania. Yes.
Yeah. Our brother and sister from Journey with Us, they got a beautiful spot up in the mountains that they're building a nice cabin. They got an amazing view.
I desire to, live in the mountains that has a safe passage. So, or very close to it where I have access to it, but I just want us to keep that in mind when we're building things. Ask Abba to give us new designs, give new ways of doing things, because we do not want to replicate the U.S. We don't want to replicate the West. That's not why we're coming out here. We're here to modernize, but we need to ask Abba to lead us when we're doing things. And that does not mean that we can't have entertainment facilities that a lot of us know and we enjoy. But I'm saying don't build a big old metropolis of just buildings and buildings and buildings everywhere.
Right.
So
family, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. And again, please, you guys share and like and comment on this video. And please check out our video next week that we're going to be doing. We got a great one for you, a brother and sister that are in Zimbabwe that have opened a school in a local village there. And man, y'all just come check out that video next Sunday. All right.
Yes.
All right, family. We love y'all.
We love y'all. Shalom, shalom.
Yes.